Hey there, it's Brian. What if I told you that behind Ferrari's iconic prancing horse logo lies a story involving war heroes, family tragedies, and some of the greatest automotive masterpieces ever created? You might think you know Ferrari, but trust me, there's much more hidden beneath that glossy red paint. Let's start from the beginning. Ferrari's journey didn't start on a racetrack or even in a high-tech garage. It began with a young man named Enzo Ferrari. Born in 1898, Enzo grew up in Modena, Italy, with dreams bigger than his humble hometown could hold. But how exactly did a small-town kid transform into one of the greatest automotive legends of all time? The story kicks off during World War I. Young Enzo was drafted into the Italian army, where he narrowly survived the devastating Spanish flu pandemic. After the war, he set his sights on racing, securing a job at Alfa Romeo as a test driver. His racing career was decent, but it never quite reached the heights he dreamed of. So what pushed him to build his own empire instead? The turning point was personal tragedy. After losing both his father and brother at an early age, Enzo faced yet another crushing blow, the death of his beloved son, Dino. But instead of breaking him, this loss fueled his relentless ambition. Ferrari wasn't just building cars, he was building a legacy in memory of his son. Ever wondered why some of Ferrari's most beautiful cars bear the name Dino? Now you know, it's a heartfelt tribute. But hold on, because that's just scratching the surface. Ferrari's first ever car, the 125S built in 1947, wasn't exactly smooth sailing. In fact, it broke down during its first race. Critics laughed, competitors smirked. But Enzo? He knew something they didn't. Because just 2 weeks later, that very same car won its first race, silencing doubters and marking the birth of an automotive legend. Now here's the twist. Ferrari didn't initially care about road cars at all. Enzo Ferrari once famously said he sold cars purely to fund his racing addiction. Shocking, isn't it? This obsession with racing led to some of the most legendary Ferraris ever made. Cars like the Ferrari 250 Testarossa. Only 34 units were built, and today each one is worth tens of millions of dollars. But why is this particular model so valuable? It's all in the details. The 250 Testarossa wasn't just fast, it was revolutionary. Its sleek design, crafted by legendary coach builder Scaglietti, wasn't just beautiful. It was purpose-built for speed and endurance. This model dominated endurance racing, winning multiple titles at the grueling 24 Hours of Le Mans. Owning one today is like owning a piece of racing history. Speaking of history, have you heard about Ferrari's legendary rivalry with Ford? This fierce competition gave us one of the most iconic Ferraris ever, the 330 P4. This car was built to settle a score. In 1966, Ferrari suffered a humiliating defeat at Le Mans, with Ford taking all top 3 positions. Furious and determined, Ferrari developed the stunning 330 P4. Just 1 year later, it claimed a historic 1-2-3 victory at the 1967 Daytona race. Talk about a comeback. But there's a hidden secret about this car that most people don't know, and it involves a surprising twist with Ford. Stick around, because we'll uncover that soon. Now let's talk about Ferrari's street cars, because even though Enzo initially built them reluctantly, these road-going masterpieces became legendary in their own right. One perfect example is the Ferrari 250 GT California Spider. Designed specifically for the American market, only 106 were produced. This gorgeous convertible quickly became a symbol of glamour, driven by Hollywood royalty like James Coburn. Fun fact, Coburn's personal California Spider sold at auction for an unbelievable $10.9 million. But here's another intriguing detail. Not all classic Ferraris were immediate hits. Take the Ferrari Daytona, officially known as the 365 GTB/4. When introduced, critics dismissed it as outdated compared to its rival, the Lamborghini Miura. Yet decades later, collectors crave this exact model, driving prices to astronomical levels. Why the sudden change in appreciation? Could it have something to do with its hidden engineering secrets or its storied racing history? And if we're talking secrets, here's another one. Ferrari nearly ended up under American ownership. Yes, you heard me right. In the 1960s, Enzo almost sold his entire company to Ford. Imagine a world where Ferrari cars bore Ford badges. The deal was practically sealed until the very last moment when Enzo Ferrari walked away. This rejection sparked Ford's legendary vengeance at Le Mans, forever changing motorsport history. But remember the secret I hinted at earlier about the Ferrari 330 P4? It ties directly into this dramatic event. Curious about the full story? Stay tuned because you won't believe the dramatic turn it takes next. So here's the twist about the Ferrari 330 P4. After Ferrari's revenge victory at Daytona, Enzo Ferrari personally sent a telegram to Henry Ford II, sarcastically congratulating him on Ford's efforts. Can you imagine the tension when Ford received that message? This bold move solidified the rivalry and transformed the 330 P4 into a legendary symbol of Ferrari's defiance and dominance. But there's another Ferrari model with an equally dramatic backstory, the Ferrari F40. This supercar wasn't just iconic because of its record-breaking speeds or revolutionary design. It was special because it was the last Ferrari personally approved by Enzo Ferrari himself before he passed away. The F40 became a moving tribute to Enzo's lifelong pursuit of automotive perfection, blending raw power with cutting-edge technology of its time. Interestingly, the F40 almost didn't happen. Ferrari executives initially opposed the project, deeming it unnecessary. But Enzo, determined as ever, insisted on creating a supercar to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary. And thank goodness he did. Today, the F40 remains one of the most beloved Ferraris ever built, cherished by collectors and enthusiasts alike. Speaking of groundbreaking Ferraris, we can't overlook the legendary Ferrari Enzo, named after the man himself. Introduced in the early 2000s, the Enzo was essentially an F1 car built for the street. Its radical design and blistering speed stunned the automotive world, quickly becoming a modern classic. But here's something many don't realize. The Enzo wasn't just groundbreaking technologically, it was also a strategic turning point for Ferrari's brand. You see, Ferrari deliberately limited production to just 400 units, making it an instant collector's item. This scarcity created massive demand, elevating the brand's exclusivity even further. But there was one more car that Ferrari made even more exclusive, the Ferrari FXX. Essentially an ultra-high-performance track-only Enzo variant. The FXX was so exclusive that owners couldn't even take them home. Ferrari kept these cars at their factory, allowing owners to drive them only at official Ferrari track events. Imagine spending millions on a car you can't even park in your garage. But collectors lined up, eager for the privilege. Now, Ferrari's secretive and exclusive approach isn't limited to modern times. Back in the 1960s, the Ferrari 250 GTO was initially shrouded in secrecy, produced exclusively for select racing clients. Ferrari even had to pretend it was just a modified version of their existing models to bypass strict racing regulations. Only 36 units were built, making it one of the most valuable classic cars in existence today. Recently, one of these incredibly rare 250 GTOs sold for an astonishing $70 million. So why exactly does this model command such staggering prices? The answer lies in its unmatched racing legacy, stunning design, and extreme rarity. It dominated racing circuits worldwide, establishing Ferrari's reputation as a motorsport powerhouse. Collectors aren't just buying a car, they're acquiring a piece of racing history, prestige, and art all rolled into one spectacular package. But here's something even more fascinating. Ferrari didn't always have smooth sailing with collectors. There was a time when some classic Ferraris were overlooked and even undervalued. Take the Ferrari Dino, named after Enzo's late son. Initially, the Dino wasn't even badged as a Ferrari because it had a smaller V6 engine instead of Ferrari's legendary V12. Critics dismissed it, purists turned their noses up, and prices dropped significantly. But years later, perceptions dramatically shifted. Today, the Dino is cherished, its price is soaring as collectors recognize its unique beauty and historical significance. Who would have guessed that one of Ferrari's most controversial models would eventually become one of its most loved? And let's not forget another revolutionary Ferrari, the Testarossa. Famous for its striking side strakes and pop culture presence, The Testarossa defined an entire generation of car enthusiasts. But initially, its bold styling sparked mixed reactions, and not everyone was convinced by its radical looks. Yet over the decades, it became an iconic symbol of the 1980s, its value steadily rising. Today, pristine Testarossas regularly fetch premium prices at auctions, proving once again how perceptions change over time. So why do Ferrari stories captivate us so deeply? Perhaps because behind each model lies passion, drama, innovation, and the relentless drive of one man, Enzo Ferrari. Every Ferrari tells a unique story, whether it's triumph, tragedy, rivalry, or sheer audacity. Each car embodies Enzo's vision, shaping Ferrari into a brand synonymous with dreams, speed, and luxury. So which Ferrari surprised you the most? Was it the defiant 330 P4, the groundbreaking F40, or perhaps the controversial Dino? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Bye.